Welcome, Sojourners, to the Women's Leadership Mindset series presented by Teresa K. Page, LLC. My name is Teresa Page. I am your host and looking forward to spending these next few moments with all of you. We have a lot of work to get done on today, but first, allow me to invite you to connect with me by subscribing to my website and YouTube channel. Connect and follow me on LinkedIn, and always feel free to contact me directly via email at teresakpagellc@outlook.com. So what is our goal? Well, as an author, speaker, coach, and mentor, my mission is to help professional women renew their leadership mindset with fresh fire and purpose through the mediums of leadership development and coaching services. However, the Women's Leadership Mindset series is a new initiative intended to spotlight powerful women leaders and how they serve the world through their professions and purpose. So with the goal to help women realize their unfulfilled dreams and re-energize the leaders they always were. This platform is designed to enhance, empower, educate, equalize, and even emancipate, as our special guests share their entrepreneurial stories, provide valuable resources, and guidance in a caring, professional, and impactful manner. So, let's get down to business. Well, all right. In today's video, it is my pleasure to welcome to my virtual stage Dr. Donna Bellinger, Managing Member of DS Bellinger Consulting LLC of Chicago, Illinois. Dr. Donna Smith Bellinger is an award-winning business strategist and sought-after speaker who specializes in helping small business owners conquer call reluctance and dramatically boost their sales. Her innovative approach has not only transformed countless entrepreneurs, but has also earned her features in numerous media outlets, including radio and television. Known for her blending humor with actionable insights, Dr. Donna empowers business owners to approach client outreach with confidence, resulting in higher conversion rates and business success. Whether on stage, in a coaching session, or over the airwaves, she inspires and educates with passion and expertise. So to connect with Dr. Donna Bellinger, you may reach her on her website at www.askdsb.com. You may also connect with her on LinkedIn at Donna Smith Bellinger. You can reach her via email at donna@donnasmithbellinger.com, as well as connect with her by phone at 240-427-5372. We will bring all of this information along with Dr. Donna's free gift before we go, but I just want to say welcome, Dr. Donna. How are you on today?
Today is absolutely a wonderful day because I want everyone to understand that every day above ground is a wonderful day, because all of us know, if we think back into it, there are people who didn't make it this far. So that is the gift. And that gift that has been given to you is because the universe, the creator, whatever it is you identify with, found you worthy. So let's just focus on the gift that we are able to deliver to other people. And I want to say, really, thank you. Thank you so much for allowing me, Teresa Page, to be on your platform and to share with your people.
Absolutely, Dr. Donna. I am so excited, and thank you for reminding us how blessed we are and that we were found worthy to see another beautiful day. As for me, another trip around the sun. So today is my birthday, so I'm really excited about that.
That's terrible, because now I have to do what my grandchildren would require me to do. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Teresa. Happy birthday to you. And that is our gift from the universe.
That is wonderful. That is so kind. That is so sweet. Thank you so much. Don't let me find out you're a singer too, Dr. Donna. Dr. Donna. Don't let me
No, no,
find
no.
out.
I am what we would call a one-hit wonder. So, but what I will say is this. Far too often, we determine our value by the way other people value us. But the bottom line is that you have gifts to deliver to the people that surround you. Do not try to be, and this is one of my favorite things to say, a poor imitation of someone else. That's not why you're here. Okay? You are not a poor imitation of someone else's success. There are people who are put here to hear your message, your specific gift. And you need to just really, bring that into what you impart and not just think that, oh, well, if I don't have 500,000 Facebook followers, if I don't have this particular number of followers or whatever, that's not it. When I wrote my first book, which was You Lost Me at Hello, Actionable Principles That Moved You Beyond Networking. Yeah? Okay, so the first chapter was not everyone is going to want you, and you really don't need them to because it's too time consuming to try and touch every single person in the planet. Don't try and do that. How hard do you really want to work in your business? How do you want your business to serve you? Okay, so not everybody's going to want you. You really don't want them to. Too time consuming. What is it that you want to bring to the people that you choose to touch? When you get into that particular space, okay, because you're not the know all be all deity, let's just touch the people that we were intended to touch in the way that we were intended to touch and move forward from there.
Absolutely. Well, Dr. Donna, you already preaching today. You've already got into the meat of the matter of our conversation, but thank you for taking some time to give our audience that understanding, especially for entrepreneurs, because that is something I've definitely learned within the last couple of years that I am not for everybody, and I am glad I have finally have come to that understanding, but I am for those that choose to bask in my light. And so that is what I'm really excited about. So I am so excited about our conversation. We have had the opportunities to engage in that networking space. I believe it's Women Who Do Business, with shout out to Camden, if she's out there, Camden Jacobs and
Yay,
that's how we
Peyton.
were
Yeah,
able.
baby.
Absolutely. So that's where I've had the honor to be able to meet and to engage with you and to hear your brilliance. So I'm really excited about our conversation on today. And I've heard so much about your story on how you have gotten to become the expert that you have become in the area of sales. So we're going to go ahead and get on into further into this conversation. So why don't you just take us back, Dr. Donna, and tell us just a little bit about yourself.
So, for those of you who feel that, you know what, I don't have the education, I don't have the connections, I don't have whatever it is you feel you don't have, let me tell you that I started out as a homeless teenage mom. And when I had my first child, way back when having a child as an unwed mother was not a big thing, When I came up, it was. So here's the deal. I needed to create a path to take care of my children. One of the first things I decided was not everybody's going to like you. And you really don't want them to because it's way too time consuming. So what do I need to create? How can I take care of the people who depend on me? When you started your business, you started it because someone said, hey, you got a gift. Hey, you really helped me. So those things made you go, aha, yes, maybe I should go ahead and share this story with other people. Yes, because there are people who want to hear the story that you choose to tell, and they want to be able to follow along with the lessons that you have learned. That's so very, very key. You may not be a billion-dollar person yet. That's okay. There may be someone who doesn't understand how to communicate beyond their zip code, beyond the people they went to school with. Maybe they feel that they're not totally appreciated by the people at their company. You are going to be able to help them to grow beyond their preconceived notions of what they're able to accomplish. Please do that. Please do that. Share them because we learn from the experience of people who have been where we are aspiring to be. That's just what the deal is. So maybe you're not a billion-dollar person yet, $1 million person yet, a six-figure person yet, a five-figure person yet, but there is someone who aspires to be where you are. What can you do to support them to grow beyond where they currently are? And with the work that I do, because I have over 40 years of sales expertise, I have worked with people who felt that they were not enough, that they didn't know how to communicate their value to other people. These are the things that I do. And these are the things that people like me want to share with people like you.
Absolutely, Dr. Donna. And I'm hearing that as far as in that business space, that being able to share your story with your prospective clients or just with your audience, your captive audience, that is a thing now that's really going to push the needle as far as business engagement, connecting with new clients, and really just making that connection by sharing our experiences and what we may have learned from that experience and how we can convey that to our audience to help them, as you said, to move forward in their pathway. So for entrepreneurs or those in our audience, regardless whether they're entrepreneurs or they're just leaders in the community or anything like that, sometimes we may be embarrassed by some of the experiences that we may have had and may not want to lead with that. So tell us how can we push past that vulnerability or the embarrassment of our previous experiences to get us to where we are and be able to really maximize upon that as far as what you would say as far as the sales conversation. How do we do that? How do we get past that vulnerability to the place where we're not wallowing in what we experience, but we're actually capitalizing on that and being empowered by that to connect with our audience?
Certainly, happy to cover that. So when I started out, as I said, a homeless teenage mom, I found out quickly that when you are able to help a company, a business, a brand do more than they thought was possible, when you're helping them to make more money, they overlook whatever this other stuff was. They don't care. Why? Why are they in business? To make more money. All right, you need to understand that. So, what is the gift that you are bringing to those specific brands? When I started, it was as, like I said, a homeless teenage mom. I wound up being an assistant admissions director in vocational and educational fields. And here's what the deal was. I was able to connect with their ideal client by showing them what was possible. From that, I was able to determine that the majority of the people that I connect with, whether it was in IT, whether it was in education, whether it was in speaking, whether you are a coach, uh, this is about what is possible for you. We have a tendency to create this line in front of us, this barrier. You know, we've all heard the conversation, draw a line in the sand. Okay, so you draw a line in the sand, but typically we think that we have to draw that line in front of us. I encourage you to draw the line behind you because those are the lessons you have already learned. Where do you want to go from here? So the people who are back where you used to be, give them the lessons that you've learned. But when you're talking to a corporation, a business, a prospect that needs to move forward, show them what is possible. That's what the goal is. What is possible? Give yourself permission. When I talk to my people about drawing the line in front of you versus drawing the line behind you, when you draw the line in front of you, you're putting yet another barrier in front of you. But when you draw the line behind you, these are the lessons learned. The lessons learned. So beyond that, as I said, what is now possible? What can you create? Who can you touch? What have you learned that you need to push forward? And frequently we have a tendency to say, well, if other people don't recognize it, it's not real. Baloney. There's another B word I was thinking of, but I'm not going to say it. But, you know, you need to just go ahead and push forward. Who is the mentor you think or wish you could have had? What do you wish they had imparted to you? Where do you want to grow? These are the most important things that you need to consider because frequently when we don't advance, it's because we don't know the questions to ask. So ask the questions. If that person is not able to answer those questions, find another expert. There are plenty of us out there. But be very clear on what it is that you want to accomplish and what you need in order to accomplish it.
Absolutely. Well, I absolutely love that drawing the line behind you instead of in front of you and gleaning from those lessons learned and actually being able to create something out of that to be a blessing to someone else. And what do you think? Can you tell us what does it look like to erase that line, Dr. Donna, that we may have put in front of us? Because I like the way you phrased that we're creating another barrier. How do we erase that line and then draw that line behind us? And just at a high level, I know you may not be able to get down into details, but what kind of tidbits, one or two tidbits, could you give us to how we can erase that barrier and actually draw that line behind us?
When I think about drawing the line behind you, I think about some of the things that I perhaps went through. So when I had my first child, I was disowned by my family, and they told me, no good man will ever want you, and you'll be working the streets in 6 months. However, in 4 months, I was out earning my management father. Why? Because a friend of mine gave me this phrase that just resonated with me so well. I took what he called the stupid pill. The stupid pill is where you accomplish what other people said couldn't be accomplished because you didn't know any better. You didn't know you shouldn't be able to do this. So I didn't know that without having a college degree, I should not be able to be an assistant admissions director. I did not know that I could run sales teams that were white male dominated. I didn't know. So what I knew was that I had two children that needed me to provide for them, and that me personally, I wanted to provide for them at the same level I had been provided for. So that meant that my children went to private schools. That meant that my daughter spent a month in Europe. Okay. That meant that I ran all of these different businesses and accelerated into being an assistant director, an assistant school director, blah, 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 because I didn't listen to the noise. So don't listen to the noise. Accomplish what you need to accomplish. One of my favorite things to say is, work is what you do to finance who you choose to become and who you choose to serve. That's why you do what you do. Who you choose to become. What is your big badass dream for yourself? Who you choose to serve. Who's depending on you? Is it your family? Is it your community? Is it something else? You know, you've got things that you want to accomplish. And when I'm talking to my clients who are looking to accelerate their businesses, here's what I tell them. When you choose a job or an assignment or a project, the whole point of that is to walk into it knowing what your exit strategy is. I had one job that I took in order to be able to finance my daughter going to spend a month in Europe. Great. Okay, I had spent a month in Europe. I wanted her to have the same thing. When I put that baby darling on the airplane, I went back to the office to clear my desk, and they said, "Great job. We would love for you to, do this." I'm sure you would. Well, don't you want to? Not at all. Okay. I walked in there knowing what I needed to accomplish. That was to get her on the plane. She's on the plane. I love you. Bye-bye. That was basically the way I looked at it. And with every single part-time job or extra thing that I took on, I knew I'm taking it to this. Once this is done, see ya. And so you need to remember that no one ever killed themselves to make someone else's dreams come true. What are your dreams? What is it that you feel called to deliver? And that's where the focus lies.
Well, that's awesome, Dr. Donna. So you talked about helping your clients to accelerate your business. So I want to shift our conversation for you to talk about just that. So you are the managing partner of DS Bellinger Consulting, LLC in Chicago. Why don't you take us behind the scenes? What does it look like for a client to be able to work with you to accelerate their business? So tell us about DS Bellinger Consulting and what that experience looks like for our audience.
Well, first of all, thank you so much for asking that. And Teresa, I really appreciate you giving me the opportunity to cover that. That's so generous of you. But when I am working with my prospects, here's the first thing. My first question is going to ask you, what would success look like for you? What is it you're trying to accomplish? If it's trying to make 5 figures, 6 figures, 7 figures, tell me that. Tell me who your ideal client is. And tell me what the skill set is that you're bringing to this. What is your why? One of the things that I have on my website, which is www.askdsb.com, is under free resources, something that says perfect day. That's a quick visualization. And what I want you to do is walk through what your perfect day would be. And I don't mean, oh, I made 100,000 today and I did this and I do that. No, no, no. Here's the deal. When you open your eyes that morning, what do you see? What do you smell? What do you feel? Okay, once you get out of the bed, what do you want to see happen? As you're walking through that day, what does it look like for you that makes it perfect? That makes it perfect. For some of you, it'll be the value you bring to your family, your friends, whatever. For others, it may be the value you bring to yourself. It's just like, oh, I always wanted to sail around the world. I always wanted to get on my own boat. I always wanted to do this or do that. Or it may be, I want to help a child see their next day. It just kind of depends. But let's talk about what that looks like. And once you've accomplished that, and the thing that I want to say right now is this: when I ask you to describe your perfect day, usually what you show me is what you thought is not possible. I'm here to show you that it is possible. And we work through the deliverables that will get you there. And when you finish your perfect day and you lay down and you rest your head on the pillow and you get ready to just kind of, soak in, oh my God, that was so wonderful. Here's what I want you to plan. What's next? You're not going to die that night. What's next? Because typically when you talk about your perfect day, that's something you think is not possible. It's possible. You can accomplish anything that you can dream. But once we've accomplished that, what's next?
Well, that's awesome. So thank you for taking us what that perspective track looks like. One of the things before we move forward, you said something about being able to describe your perfect day, that's a way to be able to understand how you can help a client and to create that pathway as well as deliverables on how to get there. What about for those that you may have encountered that they don't know how to visualize their perfect day, or they don't know how to, or at least be able to explain what their perfect day is? Because I'm finding that sometimes when we bump into people, we may ask them, well, what makes you happy? Or what is it that you want to do? People may not know how to express that. So do you bump into prospective clients that way? And then for those who are having that difficulty being able to either articulate what that perfect day looks like, or they're having difficulty visualizing, what tools do you use to kind of help them to get past that block there?
Absolutely. So I will tell you that frequently we don't know how to articulate what our perfect day is or what it is we want to accomplish because we are too busy comparing ourselves to others. That is not what the intention is. That is not why we're here. We are not meant to be a pale imitation of someone else's success. So here's the deal. When you started your business, you started it because someone told you that you were brilliant at X. You had given them some kind of a result. You made them feel something. You made them do something. All right. And you thought, okay, well then, you know what? I can probably get paid for that. So then you begin to create that particular thing. Now, once you've begun to create that particular thing, what else do you want people to do as a result of having experienced your brilliance? Yes, you're brilliant. Don't listen to what the people in your family, the people who don't want to work as hard as you do, don't listen to those people. They're perfectly happy where they are. Leave them there. Have a nice day. You have a gift. You have something that has caused a transformation or a change for an individual, whether it was they became healthier, whether their business grew, whether you showed them how to have a conversation so they got their promotion, all kinds of things. When you consider what your particular gift is, there are people who get paid every day for doing one particular thing. What is that? Delivering a service that we don't want to deliver and we will pay for someone else to deliver. Case in point, a woman that I worked with who baked fabulous cookies, but what she wanted to do was create a nonprofit organization to support people who had been the victims of abuse. We were able to take baking those cookies, to turn it into gift baskets, to turn it into catering, to turn it into brick and mortar, to turn it into a nonprofit. One of my favorite things in the whole wide world is the people who do cleaning service. God, I love you people. That's not my jam. That's not my thing. I would rather go out and speak in front of 10,000 people, okay, than spend a whole day cleaning my condo. Okay, it doesn't matter whether you are helping people to make seven figures or helping them to have a better life that particular day so they can with their children, with their spouse, with their family. There is someone who is willing to pay you to utilize your gift. Nothing too humble. Nothing too humble. So that's where you have to focus. And that's the story that you need to share in order for you to accomplish what you need to accomplish with the gifts that you've been given.
Absolutely, Dr. Donna. Thank you for giving us some insight there. Now, why don't you tell us what does your niche market look like? What are the type of clients that you like to work with to help them to accelerate their business, to tap into their gifts, their abilities to create that business? Um, what what are the type? What is your demographic? What does that look like as far as the clients you like to work with?
The people that I work with are people who, number one, only eat what they kill. In other words, if I don't sell it, I don't get paid for it. Those are my people. Um, I love to work with people who have been where I was. You know what? They told me it couldn't be done. Guess what? I did it. So I want to help you to monetize your gifts. The people that I work with are people who are in typically professional services. So whether you're an accountant, an attorney, a realtor, maybe you have a home-based business, people that I call the kitchen table CEO, there's nothing too humble, but I want to help the people that I serve the community that they feel that they should be serving. That's what my deal is. So people who only eat what they kill is definitely where I'm at.
I love that expression, eat what they kill. Absolutely. But thank you for giving us some insights. Now, Dr. Donna, you shared with us a little earlier that you've been doing this for a minute now. You're 40 years. So you're definitely an expert. I know that you have experienced all types of different scenarios and things like that. So can you take us behind the curtain? Because sometimes entrepreneurship is not always sexy. It's not always glamorous. And
I'm
sometimes,
laughing when you say, no, it's not always sexy. Okay, fine. So When I started out, I wound up dealing with middle-aged white men in suits.
Yeah.
That's where I was. And this was in the 80s. So I was that unexpected person. Why did people put me in positions of authority? Because I made them lots of money.
Right.
That was the value that I brought to the table. And there was actually one time when I was running a sales team in Kansas, and I dealt with a lot of, I'll call them cowboys because that's what they call themselves. And one of my guys, after I went through a training with him, said, Donna, if you were white, you'd be a millionaire. And I was like, you know what?
Wow.
I know you meant that as a compliment, and that's the way I'm going to receive it. So here's the deal. When I am working with my clients, I want you to understand the value that you bring. I have something that I trademarked that is called a yes-testimonial. A yes-testimonial is a recommendation that you receive from an individual, and it shows not only where they were originally, but the transformation that you helped them to achieve, and then what the result was. One of my favorite stories is a woman who was a mechanical engineer of Hispanic descent. She felt that her family didn't really appreciate her because she didn't, get married, have kids, stick with the Catholic upbringing and all of that. And she also felt that her boss, her team, did not recognize her for the gifts that she had. After she and I created the sales conversations that she needed to have within the corporation, this is not a transactional thing. I excel at those, but this was not a transactional conversation. We were able to help the decision makers and the leaders in her firm realize the gifts that she had to give. So within uh, 12 to 14 months of the time that we were working together, she was able to raise her revenue within that firm by 30%. She was also able to negotiate a dream job for herself. So now, not only does she have the wonderful personal relationship that she thought she couldn't have because she wasn't communicating with people, but she is viewed as a global leader. She is a mentor, and she is leading huge projects. Sales conversations are not just transactional. And quickly, there was another one that I did where I actually helped to save a marriage because the gentleman said, okay, well, Donna, this is what I'm trying to do, but my wife isn't helping me. I'm like, why? Well, she doesn't do what I tell her to do. Okay, first problem. She was grown when you got her.
Right.
Okay, so that's not how it works. Secondly, communicate with her why this is important to you. And next, ask her what's important to her. So 4 kids later, they're still together.
Wonderful.
And he's doing wonderful, wonderful things. So when I talk about what I do in sales conversations, I need you to understand that it's not just transactional. This is about having value-driven conversations. Why I can help you, how you can support me, and what can we do to move forward.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for taking us behind the scenes to share with us a couple of examples of some of the individuals that you have encountered and to help them to see results, whether it was in their personal or business life. So thank you. That sales conversation can work. Even in that personal space. So thank you so much. Well, Dr. Donna, we're going to shift. I'm really excited about our conversation. I'm really loving it. So I really want to shift really quick as we prepare to downshift a little bit. We still have a little bit to talk about. Now, as you know, that This is the Women's Leadership Mindset series. And for me, I believe that every woman is a leader and that she has a controlling influence, whether it is over a particular domain, a particular cause, a region, or territory. So if you had to say it in your own words, what kind of leader would you describe yourself to be?
Ooh, now that's a little bit interesting. Thank you for that. You're going to make me go kind of inward. So, what kind of a leader am I? I will tell you what my people have said. I am an individual who has been where you've been, who is not judgmental, and who leads by example. So, it's not about me being right. That's never been the way that I have led any of the teams. That's not the way that I have counseled or coached any of my clients. My question is always, what do you want and what would make this successful for you? And how can we create the deliverables that will get you there?
Well, that's awesome. And so, how would you say that from the work that you're doing today, and I always love to ask this question, especially as leaders, I do believe not only are we to influence those that we engage with now in the present, but that we are to leave something behind that's going to impact generations to come. So how will future generations be able to benefit from the work that you are doing today?
That's great, Teresa. So here's what I would say. Um, I was not put here to be a one-hit wonder. When I was challenged, when I found myself stumbling, when I found myself in tears praying and beating on the floor, you know how we do when we pray, and it's like, God, why? I was always led back to my ancestors and the things that they went through to create what is possible for me. So my thoughts are always, what am I creating that would help my children, my grandchildren, and thank God I have great grandchildren, to see that there are no barriers, that you can create whatever you can conceive if you take the time to take your ego out of the conversation. It is not about your ego. It is not about being right. It's about doing right. And so when you know that what you are delivering is helping the person you reach out to grow and to accomplish their objectives, that's priceless.
Absolutely. And so, Dr. Donna, I guess leading into the next question, you were saying that being able to create something that will benefit those that you care about, such as your children or your community, or those that depend upon you. So I actually believe that love is that catalyst. Love is that thing, who we love or what we love, or where we may find that love might be absent, that is the catalyst that helps us tap into our creativity to
Mm-hmm.
create either a good, a service, an organization, or whatever it is to serve the world. So I believe that love is that effective power. The effective power of love is that game changer that gives us that particular edge, whether it's to be innovative in business or whether it's to be powerful in leadership or just to be present for our team and our stakeholders. So how would you say, because that's my thing, I love being that ultimate success factor. How would you say in the work that you do and have done, especially being able to help others to take their gifts and their abilities to create something amazing, how would you say that love has tangibly shaped you in the leader that you are and in the work that you do? So talk to me a little bit about that. How has love tangibly shaped you as a leader?
I will tell you that The majority of the things that I have accomplished came about because people saw things in me that I did not see in myself. So it was because of that that I became an admissions director. I went to a school, I knew a class I wanted to take. They said, "Oh, but you tested for this and we want you in this." And I said, "I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to waste your time. I'm going to take me and my financial aid and go over here." That night, the admissions director called me. He said, "We'd love to have you in the class that you requested, and I want you to work for me because nobody ever tells me no." I was like, "Okay, great. You got the right one, baby." But then beyond that, other people that I met, again, saw things in me that I did not see in myself. That's how I wound up hosting a television show, hosting a radio show, speaking on international platforms. Don't be afraid to go out there and to do you. Don't be, women do this in particular, a people pleaser. That doesn't serve you. The first book that I wrote was called You Lost Me at Hello: Actionable Principles That Move You Beyond Networking. And the first chapter in that book said this: not everyone is going to like you, and you really don't want them to because it's too time consuming. Okay, so don't try and be everybody's best friend, their idol, any of those things, a pale imitation of whomever you idolize. Be the original. Touch the 1, 2, 12, 100, 1,000 lives that the universe intended for you to touch. That's it. That's it. And then
Absolutely.
perfection.
Absolutely. So, Dr. Donna, how do you then, in your business model, make room for love? What does that look like practically? How do you practically implement the functionality of love that you have been shaped by into your business model? What does that look like tangibly?
Love. Love for me is appreciating someone for the gifts that they have, whether they see them or not. And there have been many times that I've had the opportunity to work with clients that I have helped them to shift from what they thought they wanted to do to what would give them joy. And so love is giving someone permission to be who they're intended to be. You know, one of my earlier talks was permission granted. And what I said in that was, there are women who go to bed every night with an achy heart because they spent so much time taking care of everyone else that they did not take the time to take care of themselves because no one ever told them that it was okay to do that. And so what I say is permission granted. Just do what you do.
I love that. I love that, giving people permission to be exactly who they are intended to be. So thank you for sharing that with us. Now, Dr. Donna, this is your opportunity. You've been educating us, you've been schooling us the entire time. But I really want you to be able to, and you've given us some great information, great principles. Now, here's your opportunity to talk to those who may not have figured out who they're supposed to be, or may not have figured out, or at least stepped into what they're supposed to be, whether it's in that dream career or into that dream business. What tip, and you are the permission granter, so what tip, what encouragement or resource would you give to someone that may be listening, that's considering to to step into that dream career, that dream business, into their dream purpose? What tip, what resource or encouragement would you give them to make that leap, to go ahead and step into that space?
Two things. Number one, whether it is your career or your business, understand your why. Why do you want to do this? Are you trying to do this so you look good in somebody else's eyes? Please get over yourself. No, no. All right. Um, that is not the goal. All right. The second thing is on my website, www.askdsb.com. Under free resources, there's that thing that I call Perfect Day. And this is a visualization where you consider what your perfect day looks like. All right. How do you wake up? What does it smell like? What does it feel like when you put your foot down? I had one woman who was so awesome. She said, when I put my feet down on my flocati rug and I feel um, the breeze blowing on me and I smell the flowers that are growing outside of my window, and my maid brings me my tea on a silver tray, she knew exactly what she needed to have happen. There's nothing wrong with that. Nobody said you don't deserve that. Okay, so go ahead and think what it is that's important to you. And if nobody in your house, in your family, in your zip code, in your state, in your country has ever had that, that's okay. Because this is for you. And it's your perfect day. And there's always a first. And there is no hurt, pain, challenge in being the first. Be the first.
Absolutely. And Dr. Donna, while we're still in this vein, let's talk about those who are on the other side of the spectrum. They already know their why. They've already figured out their perfect day, and they have realized it, and they're actively acting in their perfect day. They're actively demonstrating their why, whether it's in their career or in their business or some other vein. But they have come up to hit a barrier, or they're feeling stuck, or they may be feeling frustrated. So let's talk about those. What tip, what encouragement or resource would you give to someone who's already doing the thing? They're already living the dream, but they may feel a bit stuck or a bit frustrated. What would you give to them?
Get a coach. Find a coach. Find someone who can connect with you and give you that little extra kick in the butt to help you to accomplish more. You don't want to surround yourself with people who go, oh, yeah, you've done really good things, or, oh, yeah, I know it's hard. Those are not your people. You want the person who's going to say, terrific, you've done that. What's next? What else? How can we grow? Who can you serve? That's the coach that you need in your space.
Awesome, awesome. I love that. Get a coach that will help you get beyond what's next. Absolutely. But Dr. Donna, I am truly enjoying our conversation. We're beginning to shift down and to wind up our conversation. It's been such a blessing to spend time with you on today. So you do have a free gift for us, the Elite Sales Mastery 6 months of Building Your Revenue Powerhouse, which is a group program. Why don't you tell us a little bit more about the gift that you're offering our audience today?
So my Elite Mastery is a 6-month program that is created to support those of you who need the support of a group. Okay, maybe you're still trying to figure things out. And so you need a group to kind of support you, and you don't want it to be, just you. So that's what that is all about. Then there's a second thing, and that is a webinar that I'm going to be doing to assist you with just creating your conversations. Now, for either of these, I'm just going to tell you, I'm not one of those experts who says, come on, everybody sign up, do this. Let's, give me your whatever it is, and we're going to go ahead and sign you up. I don't do that. This is what I request of your listeners. Do you want to move forward? Let me have a conversation with you. It's free. Go to www.askdsb.com. Let's have a quick 20-minute conversation. I call it virtual coffee. If you already have a business, we can do 30 minutes on reviewing your sales process. But let me give you some guidance on my dime, and I will advise you if there's someone else, another expert that you need. It's not my ego. This is your results. That's what I want to see happen. And if one of my programs or one of my offerings is good for you and we agree on it, then we'll move that way. But again, not everybody is my people. And I don't have a problem with that, because it's not about the transaction. It's about the testimony. And that's what my mission statement for my business is.
Well, wonderful, Dr. Donna. That is awesome. So thank you for extending this group program, as well as the opportunity to have that virtual coffee with individuals in our audience. We'll be sure to make sure that all of this information is in the bio, so they'll know exactly how to connect with you. I declare, I hate that our conversation has to come to a close, but it's been such an honor to be able to glean from your wisdom on today. As we prepare to wrap up, what are your final words to our listening audience?
I guess my final words are, don't take anyone else's word for what you're capable of. That's the most important thing. Okay, no one else can be your judge. No one else can decide your limits. So whatever your business is, whatever your idea is, when you've had someone say, oh my God, you're so good at that, you need to keep doing it, I can definitely show you how to monetize it. And whether you sign up for one of my programs or it's just something I gift you with during our conversation, it is always a privilege to be of service.
Wonderful, wonderful. So thank you for those final words of encouragement. It was such an honor to have you on today, Dr. Donna. This was wonderful. Well, ladies and leaders, I want to say thank you so much for joining us. Remember to connect with Dr. Donna Bellinger and her free gifts that she is offering on today. Again, you may connect with her on her website at www.askdsb.com. You may also connect with Dr. Donna on LinkedIn at Donna Smith Bellinger. You may also connect with her directly via email at donna@donnasmithbellinger.com, or just give her a call at 240-427-5372. And let us not forget to take advantage of the gifts that she is offering our audience on today. The Elite Sales Mastery, which is a 6 months of building your revenue powerhouse group program. Or if you're interested in just having that complimentary virtual coffee, you may tap in with Dr. Donna so you can talk a little bit more about what your goals are. So we're going to make sure that we put this information in the bio so you can make these connections. Now, before we wrap up with Dr. Donna, if you are looking for a speaker for your upcoming events, remember, Dr. Donna does not just step in front of our audience. She ignites them. So whether she's breaking down complex sales strategies or guiding you to your next breakthrough, Dr. Donna connects people with the knowledge and the opportunities they need to thrive. So if you're ready to gain real traction in your business, get in the room with Dr. Donna and let's make it happen. You may also gather that information in the bio. Now, leaders, do you have an important story to tell that will inspire others to step into their dream career or their business? If so, I want you to check the bio to learn how you can become one of my special guests. And I would also like to invite all of you to check out my brand new book, My Journey to Wholeness, Love the Success Factor. So it's now available on Amazon and Barnes & Noble. And this book and its companion reference guide workbook is a tangible demonstration of how God's love develops women to lead, to create, and to generate wealth in the fullness of our equality, purpose, and business. So please check the bio to learn more. So we want to say thank you all for joining us for another episode of the Women's Leadership Mindset Series. Remember, like, share, and subscribe. And as always, here's to the journey, and let's move forward.